everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Emily, and today I am so excited to be reviewing the brand new LEGO Ideas Fender Stratocaster guitar. This is set number 21329. It has 1,074 pieces. It's for ages 18 and up, and it'll be available starting on October 1st. Now, before we get into any more set information or the actual review of this guitar, I just want to give a huge thank you to LEGO and LAN for sending this to me early for review. I really do appreciate it. However, all thoughts and opinions in this video are my own. Now, as you can see in front of me, here is the new LEGO Ideas box. It is the 18+ marketing on it, which we kind of assumed would happen. This was not a surprise to me. However, initially, I saw this red guitar and I was so excited because red is just so much fun. However, something I didn't realize initially is that when we turn the box around, there's actually the opportunity in this set to build it in either black or red. Now, in front of me here, I have the red version of it because again, I just thought it was that much cooler. I want a red LEGO guitar on my shelf behind me. However, I do think it's really important before we get in any further to make sure that you know that there are two different color options for this. And something real quick that I do want to bring up about this red versus black color swap change that you can choose to do with this guitar is that I will be doing the black version of this guitar very soon on this channel in a live build stream. So if you are interested in that, make sure to subscribe down below and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. So not only do we get this beautiful guitar build in this set in either red or black, but it also comes with this amp over here, and this is the Princeton Reverb amp. Now, I don't really know too much about amps, but this build looks amazing. It looks very iconic to me. Like when I picture an amp, this is what I think of. So I love the build. It's very detailed. It's almost like over-engineered on the inside, but we'll take a closer look later on. Now, something that's really important that is included in this set that I feel like would ruin the set if it wasn't included is this guitar stand here. Now, it is actually a really nice build. I'll show you a little bit more up close later on, but it does actually have some functionality with it. It does fold up, which I don't think is necessary, but it's kind of cool that it does. And of course, it's the perfect size for the guitar here. It's very sturdy. It doesn't slip at all, which is obviously important. But also the set comes with a pedal, as you can see down here. Now, the pedal, I feel like it was not necessary. Like I would have been okay if the set did not come with a pedal. However, the fact that it does, I feel like will really appeal to guitar fans. So I do appreciate that LEGO did that. All right, so that's pretty much the whole set overview, right? Like everything that's included, all the little details. Now, let's finally take a closer look. Alright, so here's a closer view of the brand new LEGO Ideas Fender Stratocaster. Again, this is set number 21329. It has 1,074 pieces. And here in front of you is the red version. There's also a black version that you can do. However, I thought red was cooler, so that's the one that I built first. You can watch me do a color swap on a live stream to switch it from red to black later on this week. So again, please do hit subscribe and turn on notifications. First, let's take a closer look at the guitar. At first glance, this guitar looks absolutely stunning. And I feel like if you squinted, it would actually look like a real guitar, which is just so impressive. It looks so iconic. They did a great job with the body here, like all the curves around it just look incredible. Also, the use of studs versus not around there, just to give it that extra texture, looks perfect. And then moving up here, the stock is just so iconic, like really, everything about this is incredible. As for the size of this build, it is a lot smaller than I thought it would be from the box art. So just keep that in mind. Like even the neck here is only 2 studs across. So it's a lot smaller than I had expected. However, I think it's perfect, right? Like I feel like a guitar this size would fit on pretty much any bookshelf, because sometimes with LEGO sets, they might be a little bit too tall and so they won't actually fit because the shelves are too close together. I really don't think you'll have that problem with this set. So as for all the little details in this set, let me just break it down for you. Let's start up here at the stock. So right here is the Fender printed piece. Now, initially I was worried that this would not be printed. I thought it would be a sticker, which would be really sad. I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot more special. It's a lot more collectible when during these brand collabs that there's actually printed pieces. And then the actual shape of the stock here is just perfect. They really nailed the shape and all the curvature to it. And then for the strings, so this was a really finicky, tricky part. Honestly, like all of this up here was really interesting. So for the strings, you can notice that they're almost like twisted around in some ways. That's because you really do actually have to tune it, because otherwise the strings might be a little bit loose. And I had a little bit of trouble, honestly. So like I understand why this is an 18+ set. And even like during this review right now, you can see some of the strings kind of falling off a little bit. Like these should probably be tightened slightly. So just, you know, keep that in mind throughout the build process. The strings are quite difficult, are quite finicky, but if you do actually take the time to get it right, they will look perfect. Otherwise, you know, it might look a little bit messy. And then on the back side of the stock, all of this hardware here, I like that they're all different, and I feel like that just makes it more realistic. Like when I built it, I did that on purpose because these are never lined up, right? It's always messy. It doesn't look perfect ever. So I wanted mine to look as realistic as possible. Something annoying about the stock, however, is that you can kind of see through this piece here. Now, I don't know how they would have changed that. I don't know how they could have done that differently, but it does kind of bother me a little bit. Like I can see the table kind of poking through there. And it's honestly not that big of a deal, right? Like it's not the end of the world, but it bothers me a little bit, so I figured I should bring it up. And so the pieces they used for the strings, I was pretty surprised, honestly. I didn't really know what to expect when I saw the strings. I wasn't expecting this because I don't think I've seen these pieces before. Like I know that they were popular with the Spider-Man sets in white for his web slingers. However, I've never seen them in gray, and I don't think I've seen them this long before either. So I think these are new pieces. Please do correct me if I'm wrong about that. And then looking at the fretboard here, there's actually 4 uniquely printed brown tile pieces here, and that's because the frets do get closer together as you get closer to the body of the guitar, so I'm really glad that that is represented here. So something that actually does bother me a little bit about the neck of the guitar here is that it's not rounded, like it's very square, and that's not realistic. Like guitars are usually a lot more rounded than this. However, I actually think it's okay, even though it's not perfect. I brought out my Emmasaurus Big Fig here to show you guys what I'm talking about. So if you actually have the Harry Potter or Hermione Granger buildable minifigures, you can kind of have them play guitar, so it does fit into her hand there, and she can shred a little bit. That's kind of fun. It's a little bit too big for her, but just saying, like, this is an opportunity for display if you do choose to do that. Sorry guys, back to the review. And then moving down to the actual body of the guitar here, you can see those pickups there. And I feel like it would have been okay. Like they could have made the choice to just make them white tiles, not printed. However, they printed them, and I think that's amazing. It makes it look so much better, way more detailed, so I am very happy about that. And also, once again, just like the mix of texture here is stunning. We have the pick guards with studs on top to just give it that extra texture, whereas the rest of it is, I guess you could say, tiled over, snot technique, so it just looks amazing. I will just say this once again, with the strings, be very careful when building it. As you can see here, it's very, very clean looking. This was a lot of effort, and I do understand why this is 18 plus. I definitely struggled a little bit while putting this together, and even my husband struggled, so just keep that in mind. It is a little bit finicky, but at the end, it will look really good. But anyways, moving on to this little knob here, this is actually out of scale. Like this piece here, I'm not sure exactly what that does. Please, guitar enthusiasts, let me know. But I do know that it's a little bit too big. It's out of scale for this size guitar, but I don't know what piece they would have used instead, so I guess it works. And then at the bottom here, we have this whammy bar, and that just moves back and forth pretty easily. It's just on this little clip there. And then when we flip it around, there's really not too much to see here. We do get the Fender sticker, and yes, this is a sticker. It is not a printed piece. However, it's on the back, so I feel like that's kind of fine. And then this white giant piece here, it just covers up a bunch of stuff inside it. But then something amazing in this set is this guitar strap. Now it says Fender on it, but then it has like these Lego studs. And as for the texture of it, it kind of feels like one of those capes. Like it's kind of stiff, kind of sturdy. I wouldn't yank on it, and before this review I actually tried to like hang this over my dog. She was kind of scared though, so I don't recommend that either. I wanted her to wear it like a little necklace. I thought it would have been cute. I would certainly try to be careful with this guitar strap, so just, you know, keep that in mind. I could see this very easily bending or crimping, and I don't want that to happen. This is probably one of my favorite parts about this set, is just like this detail here, so I'm gonna be very careful with it. So one more thing about the guitar that kind of bothers me, but really it's just so nitpicky that I don't even know if it's worth bringing up, but this shape of the guitar looks more like a bass to me. Like this side should come in a little bit more, and they made it symmetrical, which, to be fair, it looks like a guitar. But I feel like this could have come in a little bit just to make it more accurate. However, again, just super nitpicky. So I won't spend too much time with the guitar stand here, but I will show it off for you guys. It does come with this nice functionality, which I feel like isn't even necessary, but it's nice that they included it. Like really, this here, this movement is the only kind of play feature in this set. It's the only kind of functionality in this entire set. And I'm not sure what the point of this is. Like I feel like if the guitar is there, you're gonna kind of put it on the stand and leave it there. However, I guess you could just fold this up and put it next to the guitar, but I don't know, I'm just gonna leave mine on it. Something actually very important about the guitar stand here that I don't want to forget to mention are these rubber pieces. Now, this really helps it just stay in place, and it's just enough friction to where it won't slip around. All right, so finally, let's check out this amp. Now, I've said this earlier, it is over-engineered. Like, they put so much detail into here, and of course the set, it's about the guitar, right? Like, that's why we all are buying the set, is the guitar. Like, it looks amazing. It's a great build. It comes with this amazing amp though, and I feel like the amp is almost as good as the guitar. Here's why. So on the front of the guitar, we see all of these different knobs. These are the things like treble, bass, I don't know, I'm not like a guitar expert, but these are all like the fine tuning little knobs that you would turn to like switch the gears or whatever. Again, not a guitar expert. But then over here we see the Princeton Reverb amp. Now that is a sticker piece, but I think that's appropriate here, and you can barely even tell that it is a sticker. Over here we get this red jewel, and that is for an on light, which is perfect. I feel like that's a really clever use of piece there. And then down here we see Fender, and that is again another sticker, but it really works, right? Like, I feel like, again, the main part of this build is the guitar, so having stickers over on the amp really doesn't bother me much. What did actually bother me a little bit though is placing all of these pieces here. It was just very time consuming, kind of tedious. It wasn't the worst in the world, but at least the end result is incredible. And just because the pedal sliding around does actually bother me a little bit, I'm gonna take it off, but before I do, I'll just show you guys up close what this looks like. This wire here does twist with it a little bit, so you can make it kind of flat, and that way it will lay closer to the ground like that. If you don't place it all the way, it'll kind of like twist up, and it's just kind of annoying, so make sure to do that. I didn't realize that at first, and I felt kind of silly. And now to take it off, you just kind of pull this out, and these are lipstick pieces that they use, which are actually really nice. Like, it's a weird use of piece. Like, I wouldn't think of using this here, but it's perfect. So now I'm just gonna set this aside. Okay, so I don't know if y'all are ready for some drama, but here we go. This might actually trigger some people. So this part lifts up. Now, I'm sure if you're watching this, you've heard of illegal LEGO techniques. Now, I'm not someone who believes in illegal techniques. I just think it's kind of silly. Like, what, are the LEGO police gonna come get you? Are they gonna arrest you? No. So like, I think it's fine. But anyways, on the inside of this, it is just incredible. So you see all of these dots along there, those 1x1 tiles? Those are just kind of like squished in between two studs. And again, I know this will trigger some people. This is the actual instructions. Like, this is how they want you to build it. And when I saw that, my mind was blown, because I know that LEGO has had that in the instructions in the past. However, I was just shocked to see it for the first time, because I feel like it's been a few years. For those of y'all LEGO nerds out there, please let me know in the comments below, like, has this been done before? In which sets? Because I would love to see. But yeah, I just thought that was crazy. Part of me is kind of like, is this even illegal though? Because it's not like anything's being built off of it. It's just dots being wedged in between two studs. But let me know your thoughts on this. I would love to hear. But illegal LEGO techniques aside, I think there's just so much detail on the inside of this. Like, again, I really think they over-engineered this. This was not necessary, but the fact that they went through the extra effort to just add all this detail is really amazing. And then we actually just close up the top pretty easily. It doesn't latch with any studs, so it comes off very, very easily. So just be careful of that. Like, if you tip this upside down, it would just kind of come off. But now let's flip it around and check out the inside. This is actually incredible as well. So as you can already tell, actually there's a bunch of smudges on here. It is almost completely tiled over, so you might have to like wipe it down a little bit just so you avoid these smudges. But as you can see in the top there, we see a serial number saying 0406-2020. I assume that this is the date that this LEGO Ideas project was accepted by LEGO, but please let me know in the comments if you know otherwise. And then along the top, we also just get a bunch of room for all these different wires. Like, this one here is part of this wire that you can just like put in there in case you want to. I don't know, it's nice to be able to store stuff there, and it looks realistic, like all these wires inside. I just feel like that's what I think of when I think of amps. And then we get all the sound equipment in here, and again, like, this is just over engineered. Like, there's all these wires connecting the stuff. It looks incredible, but man, this is just, it was a lot of detail. Like, it took me longer to build this than the actual guitar, which I was not expecting. And actually, I forgot to mention this, but this wire here, you can connect it to the guitar. You plug it into the back of the amp, just in here. Like, this piece can go right into that gray piece there. And then you can plug it into this piece on your guitar. And for me personally, this is not something that I really care to do. I kind of like it without it just because now they're connected, like it looks kind of messy. I'm sure a lot of people will want to display it like this, but for me, I think I'm just gonna have them separate. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching this early review of the brand new LEGO Ideas Fender Stratocaster. I am obsessed with this set. I love it so much. The color is just beautiful. The amp build, it's very, very technical and almost over-engineered, but I absolutely love it. LEGO did a fabulous job designing this, and I really feel like it'll appeal to both LEGO fans and guitar fans, which is really exciting. It's always cool when LEGO pulls more people into the hobby. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and do consider subscribing to my channel down below. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.